Many of us, as I said, have a desire to do things, and we very rarely have the opportunity or are able to push forward with it. But not only is this a great human being touching on one part of the world, but he's decided to go right across. And what's the thing behind it all? Because, I mean, you are very much a close relative as well. I'm just wondering, is it something within the family that has always been giving back? And where did you guys inherit this sort of give back?
I must thank you very much for appreciating the efforts that my brother is doing. And we come from a very humble family. We don't come from a family with a golden silver spoon in our mouth. But because of education, we are able to do what we are doing today. So we are just a testimony of what education can do. Education can conquer poverty and ignorance. So not only does he want to give to states in the southeast, he also wants to make contribution to the universities in Nigeria, so that he doesn't get accused of just focusing only the Imo State. He's just come back from Nigeria some couple of weeks ago. He actually went to the University of Lagos, went to their library to see the kind of books they have over there, and to see what way or what capacity in which he can help them. And he also have in mind to help the University of Benin, where he attended. Growing up, we've always seen our parents giving. No matter how little they have in their pocket, they have always like to share. So you can say in a way that we inherited that gene from our parents.
Yes, I can imagine, because hearing this, you tend to feel that there's more in the background behind it. But I want to focus a little bit now on just some of the good work that's been done. So take me through the whole journey of this. Once books arrive, there's a tendency again with us as Nigerians, as Friends of Nigeria, and like most people, that we tend to look for the politicians to do things. But why I'm applauding this whole initiative is because what I'm hearing is that this is not, you're not waiting for the political person to start the wheel in motion. Earlier on this week, when our Kabiesi was in the house with us, and one of the things he was saying is that we're not looking to the left, right, but we are doing it. So can you take me through the process? These children, of course, are they distributed to the various schools, or do they go into homes? Let's have an idea.
Okay. Can I come in at this stage? Yes, the project itself requires manpower. It doesn't stop with just a donation, but I'm very happy you've mentioned that. Yes, Choice and Mr. Elisha Sihezie have actually made the donation and transported the books to Nigeria, to the airport. But before the uptake of this project, there was a kind of agreement between him and the Imo State government. Right. In fact, there was a 16-page questionnaire in terms to guarantee quality assurance.
Excellent.
And there were questions about security, about availability of staff, unloading facilities, warehousing and all that. So there is a sense in which you can't actually do much without working in collaboration with government. Right. The government in Imo State is headed by a gentleman, an Igbo man called Wele Rocha Sokorocha. Right. I don't know if you remember last year when we were doing elections, yes, he came on a wave of goodwill.
Yes,
and we do hope that he would embrace this opportunity. So part of what Choice is trying to do is to send some people to Nigeria very soon on a fact-finding mission to see the extent to which this project has progressed. You know what I'm saying? Because there are issues about allocation of the books, distribution of them, and these require manpower, okay? But I know that the books themselves, when you see their condition, as you may have seen from the quality of the books and all, and the range of text and all that, is unbelievable. You see, what people don't know, especially in the Southeast, is that education is not free. You talk about compulsory education here, free education and all that, No, not in Nigeria, not in the Southeast. Okay? Children as young as 8, 10 are made or compelled to go selling. They sell chewing stick, water, any other thing. And these children, you know, that's child labor, is exploitation and all that. Education, you know, is the most single eliminator of ignorance, poverty, and even discrimination. And that is why Mr. Ihezie has seen it fit, in consonance with the objectives of the UN, realizing what education can do, to say, look, not just a question of talking about people going to school, we need to equip them. And that is why this is a project that is very dear to the heart of Mr. Ihezie, and that has endeared people like me into it. And by God's grace, we will be able to give you an update very soon on what is going on in Nigeria.
This is it. Because I'm sitting here and I can hear in my heart that some of our viewers are saying, right, okay, they put it, they dash it. But then what happens after that?
I know.
And is it going hidden somewhere, being favorable to other people and not going to the real places?
I know.
So for me, hearing this, it is a total package that you have obviously considered this. And people will be going on the ground. Because again, that will only, for a word, sweeten labor. It empowers you even more. Otherwise, if you're not able to see where it's going to the right homes, right places, then it would have been a wasteful exercise. And this grand initiative would have been very unfortunate. James, I can see you nodding your head there. And do you want to come in there?
Yeah, just to reiterate what Dr. Ichongiri is saying, that it's a truly unique concept, what we're doing. It doesn't stop for us at the donation stage. We don't wave goodbye to the containers and then it stops. You know, we want to work in collaboration with the government. We want to see the benefactors, see who is receiving the educational books. And for us, that's what, you know, really nurtures our soul and really, as I said earlier, galvanizes us. You know, so it's the complete from inception to completion and monitoring that whole process. And I think that's, you know, that's one of the strongest bows in our cap is to be able to monitor everything from beginning to end.
Excellent. It's making so much sense.
Can I also butt in here? You see, when this project was launched here in the UK, the government of Imo State, that is the first recipient, sent in 2 representatives from Nigeria. The Deputy Speaker of Imo State House of Assembly was here, and a director. There is what is called Imo State Foundation, which is in charge of charitable donations, things like this, projects that come from abroad and locally. A lady in charge was also here. So that day, there were So, but what we would want to know is what has happened since then. And that's why Choice is still spending more money sending people to Nigeria to make sure that the monitoring is done, because it is one thing to initiate something, it's yet another to make sure that that thing is brought to a logical conclusion.
We are live in Nigeria, and you know that viewers are watching in Abuja, and you know that people are taking things on board, and I think that's going to be the key thing to pop the nugget. Chief, I can see you shaking your head there, and I'm really just trying to get us now to a summary of this. But you know what you've done? You've opened a door for us, because we're going to want a part 2.
Yeah.
Chief, you've heard what's been said so far. We can see that the vision is now to make sure that things is transparent, to make sure that things are, all the I's are dots and the T's are crossed and everything, and the importance of it. But if you should find that things have not been that progressive, would that deter his vision, you think, or strengthen this gentleman more?
I think on the contrary, it would just solidify his vision, wouldn't it? It would just make him go even further, work even harder.
You see, because at the end of the day, the people that needed to be satisfied is the kids that goes to school.
Yes.
I know there might be people out there wanting to, frustrate his efforts, who don't appreciate good things. but they're not going to break his will to help the kids.
Well, what we've seen so far, I
yes.
think you're right. I can sense that this is somebody who's determined, who's been touched by a higher force to do something that is good, and to make people realize that there are good human beings about. Because we know that, regarding with children and young people, there is always this hindrance of abuse that's in the background. And for many of them, adults are not necessarily good, kind people. And I think it's a reflection and very much as a good role model for people and for young people to see that there are good people around who are men who are not there to abuse but to enhance and to give that support. So for me, I'm hearing that it's all go for us. But finally, before we wrap up, James, what's on the agenda now as we speak on your front, and then we'll work down.
Okay, well, what's on the agenda at the moment? We're trying to get to that big figure of 1 million books in the IMU state. That's what we're trying to do, and we're going to work tooth and claw to make it happen. And then, as Victor mentioned earlier, we're going to roll out the project in the neighbouring states, and we really want to create a snowballing effect. One of the other initiatives we've actually got at the moment, and I'm sure Aloysius would not mind me saying, is a satellite link that we're hoping to set up between an English school local to a primary school in England, local to where the choice operation is, and a school in the IMU state. And the purpose of the project is to have a half-an-hour live transmission satellite link between the two schools, and to interview some of the primary school kids in the UK, to give to expose our world to the children in Nigeria. And it's a project that we're working on at the moment. So Aloysius is not content with just resting on his laurels with the first 600,000 books. Has now got bigger schemes and you know, and more exciting and creative and colourful ideas. So it's not a project on its own. It's more than that. It's a revolution in the way, and it runs in its DNA. I think they really broke the mould when they made Aloysius. So watch this space, basically.
Definitely. Doctor, as I said, you're no stranger to us here, and you've always been used to be heading so many positive things. And finally, what's going through your mind with this? You're obviously still going to be partnershiping, but what's happening on your agenda?
Well, I'm greatly enthused by the project. I'm captivated by it, and that is why I'm devoting some aspects of my time and resources to helping this, because I've never seen something on this magnitude.
Yes, I hear you.
I know there are projects which those in diaspora are doing. In America, we hear about the medical mission to Anambra State, whereby a group of medical professionals each year go to that place, stay 3 weeks and all that. And also doing other things to support the initiative, to make sure that this high dropout rate, because we're talking about children, some of them don't attend primary school, and those who do drop out and don't proceed. Education, we know, is very, very important. So I am really, really committed to helping as far as I can and in supporting Mr. Yezie in his vision.
Right, thank you for that. Chief?
I like to politicians back home in Nigeria who thinks that my brother's aim of making a donation of this magnitude is because he wants to go into politics. Never, never, never. He's not a politician. He's never showed himself to be a politician, and never will he be a politician. All he's trying to do is to help out. And what is wrong with helping? The business is running in this country, employing well over 100 people working under him. How can he leave the security of Great Britain and go to Nigeria to mix up with the kind of politics we have in Nigeria? So they have nothing to fear. These children from Imo State or the Southeast need to benefit from this contribution that my brother has done.
Thank you so much, but I won't say any lie to you. I would have liked for him to not to forget about the political, because sometimes to make changes you need to do that. but we quite understand. It's a delight having you gentlemen here, and this initiative is giving me so much positive energy. And you know, we're staying with you on this. You know that. Keep me posted.
Thank you very much.
And I'd love to
Thank you for
one-to-one
having us.
interview with such a wonderful individual.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much. Viewers, we need to go for a break. When we come back, this is a place to be, most definitely so. We might be giving you and getting some people in this as well. So stay with me. Plenty more to come. See you.